I am just about to conclude. I'm on my way to finishing up a long drive here and thought I would record some thoughts. I'm in a ruminative mood. Night is falling, and I'm going to share some of the thoughts that I'm having now with you lucky few, you band of brothers. Well, getting older. Have I said this before? I don't know if I've said this before. I hate to become one of those people who just keeps repeating things over and over again. But I've been on the record so much, in various ways, in writing articles or recording videos, that I don't know whether I'm repeating myself or not. So apologies if I'm repeating myself. But one of the things that you mourn the most about getting older is that you don't have the luxury of time anymore. When I say mourn, I don't know if mourn is the right word. Regret. It's something that you just, it's sort of like it adds a little bit of a bite to things. It adds a little bit of a sting to your thoughts when you realize, it's not 20 years ago. It's not even 10 years ago. It's now. And you're not in your 30s. You're not in your 40s. You're in your 50s. You don't have the luxury of time the way that you used to. And that has an effect on on your decisions, because you realize in some ways, well, it's now or never. I can't bide my time any longer. It's got to be now, or it's not going to happen, whatever it might be. So this can be classified as desperation, or I think if you are more prudent in the way you go about things, which I might or might not be. I try to be, but I think you can perhaps see it as not so much desperation as. Sorry, this is a weird four-way stop here with a lot of traffic. You might hear me crashing in a second here. Oh, I made it through. Thank God. I mean, seriously though, thank God. Don't mean that to sound smart-ass. Yeah. So you, if it's not desperation, it's maybe another word. What would be another word? Just an awareness that you can't blow it anymore. You don't have the luxury of blowing it anymore. Whatever it is, you got to go for it now, because there is no tomorrow. I mean, that's putting it dramatically. And it's not technically true. Well, you don't ever technically know. You don't ever literally know if there's a tomorrow. There might not be a tomorrow. But there, you don't have the luxury of just saying, well, things will work themselves out. And so you stop. You don't really tolerate notion of foolhardy endeavors anymore. You don't really tolerate the idea of, well, I'll just, I'll just use an example that's familiar to me. You don't think, well, I'll just fill out all of these resumes. I'll just fill out all these resumes because, there's a chance maybe they'll pick me for this job, even though, it's very much in demand and there's a ton of people who are, not to say more qualified, but who are in more of a position to take it over you. But still, I'll fill out this stupid resume and write a page worth of text about my philosophy of education or whatever, some bullshit question that where they're testing your, you get to the point where it's like, don't waste my time with this crap. I'm not going to do it. Maybe the me of 20 years ago would have, but because I would have thought to myself, well, you never know, and maybe something will happen. It's an outside chance, but it's worth. If you don't take a chance, you'll never know. And this happens, by the way, even when you even when once you were kind of hired out of the blue, which happened to me. I was hired for a job. I'm not going to be any more specific about it right now, but I was hired for a job. And by the way, this is not all about work, but I'm just framing it about with the notion of looking for jobs, filling out resumes, applying for things, because this is just as an example. But I've had jobs. I still have a job. You're not going to know what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it is for obvious reasons. But yeah, I was given a job once where it seemed like they did kind of pick my name out of a hat, and it wasn't a prestigious job. I've never had a prestigious job, but it was fine. It suited me. Oh gosh, there's somebody walking in the street right now, strumming a guitar and on the neck of the guitar, not the neck, whatever it's called, anything. He just walked right past me. Maybe you heard him. He's just walking through the street. This guy, this slacker-looking guy. It's funny, walking through traffic. Well, it was stopped just now, but that's just like, man, anything. If you want a representation of desperation, there it is. Yeah, so I'm just framing it with about jobs, not because this is all about finding the perfect job or whatever, but there was one time when I did seem to get lucky, and I was picked for a job, and I don't know. I still don't know to this day why they chose me. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any leverage. Like, it was just they read my stuff and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll go with this one. This one looks like someone who would suit us." Oh, wow. Okay. who am I to turn them down? Who am I to tell them otherwise? But that's like that for me, when it comes to jobs, if we're just talking about jobs, that is the one exception that proves the rule, that when you apply for positions and there's a lot of demand, or there are a lot more applicants than there are demands, a lot more applicants than there are positions, then it's probably not, they've probably just put the thing out. They probably just put out the application material for you, or they probably just put it out there for you to see, be just as a formality. They probably already have somebody in mind, but for legal reasons they have to go through the proper channels, so they waste your time with all this crap, and then you apply along with 268 other people when all along it's one person that they wanted. That's just my guess. That's how I'm guessing it usually works. But in this one case, that didn't happen. They actually just picked me for reasons I didn't know, I didn't understand, and I still don't understand. But I didn't, look a gift horse in the mouth, proverbially speaking, and I didn't. I didn't question it. I just went with it. But even when something like that happens, when you get older, even awareness that sometimes, you get a job that you like, or a girl that you think is out of your league likes you, or whatever example you can think of. And those are all just metaphors. I'm not talking specifically about any of those. But where you think, oh well, I've been graced with something that that seems to be more than, I don't want to say more than I deserve, but which is what grace really means, but more than I would have expected. Even though things like that happen when you get older, you don't bank on stuff like that. You don't bank on just, oh wow, I really, you want me for that part? You're gonna cast me in the starring role of this Shakespeare play, which also happened to me once. Well, it happened a couple times. Not the starring role, but I was in a couple of Shakespeare plays, and in college, in grad school. So yeah, you get picked for a part, or a girl likes you who you never thought would like you, or you find you are offered a position that really well suits your sensibilities, and it's not like not a cushy job, but it's definitely not bad. It's definitely nothing that you would complain about. So sometimes stuff like that happens, but still, the fact is, more often than not, stuff like that doesn't happen. More often than not, you put yourself out there, and you're not rewarded with getting picked. More often than not, it goes to somebody else. And you're one of the many anonymous, people who are out there pining for this thing that you didn't get. So,
in 1,000 feet, Turn right on Claremont Avenue.
Oh, I'm giving myself away. I'm giving away my location. All my stalkers could come and find me. Well, you don't know Claremont Avenue. There's a lot of places that have a Claremont Avenue. But anyway, yeah. So I'm also aware at this stage that for whatever reason, this YouTube thing isn't really hitting the way it used to. Now, I've never done exactly well on YouTube. I've always had, even on my old channel. Here, I'm turning on Claremont Avenue now, so it's gonna
turn right on Claremont Avenue.
I'd turn the thing off, but I can't. I'm a boomer, y'all, so I don't know how to. I'm just gonna keep it running, because if I touch anything, then the video stops, and I'm not done yet rambling. I'm still
in 1
rambling.
mile, turn left on North Decatur Road.
Oh no, another giveaway. Maybe I'll pull over in a second, because I'm pretty near where I'm stopping. So the YouTube thing has never come easy, especially considering the fact that I was once, a kind of a name in a niche area, like when during the alt-right.com or alternativeright.com days. I should specify that, because alt-right.com became a website after that, for some short period of time after that. But I'm talking about the alternativeright.com days from 2010 through about through 2013, Christmas Day 2013. That was like the high water mark for me as far as, I guess, name recognition. And I never, the weird thing is, I never went anywhere. It can be frustrating, but if you look at it properly, it's just kind of amusing. That after 2013, when I would turn, when I still, we still had Alternative Right going. I was still publishing articles. I was still publishing books after that, but it was like when I would turn up somewhere, like when Colin Liddell and I were on were included on Millennial one year. I think it was 2016 or 2017. It was one of those years. And people were like, "Oh yeah, I remember those guys, those OG guys. What happened to them?" It's like, nothing happened. I've always been here, but I just left your radar screen for some reason. And
in 1,000 feet, turn left on North Decatur Road.
And so you get, you can't really, you absolutely cannot control when you get on or off people's radar. But I think the time I was on the most radar screens was...
turn left on North Decatur Road.
That 2 or 3 year span of time when I was writing for alternativeright.com. And after that, it's I've been around, and some people have been always aware of me being around. I'm turning here. Stop for a second. And there have always been people aware of me being around. Some people. But for a lot of people, you just vanish. And I don't know, they must not, well, they don't care enough to, it's not that they should care. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you, when I left your radar screen, why didn't you immediately enter my name into a search engine and find where I am now? You don't deserve to be you don't deserve, one doesn't deserve recognition. And one doesn't deserve to stay in people's, to stay, to remain in people's awareness. You get what you get, That's just how it goes. So anyway, this is all to say, and then I started doing YouTube in 2017. It started with the ill-fated Unite the Right rally, or the aborted Unite the Right rally. I was just recording my experiences driving up to Charlottesville, and then I kept going with that YouTube channel until I got purged for spurious reasons, which I'm not going to go into right now. But it's just, YouTube is going to be YouTube. And why am I still here? Well, that's just, I don't know. It's because it's still the best place to go to find people and to have interactions with others, and the alt tech pages are basically don't have. I haven't really tried Rumble that much. I've heard that it's better, but BitChute is very sporadic, and others have come and gone. Odyssey, what have you. I'm glad that those exist for free speech reasons, but I've just stayed with YouTube because I'm I know how to post there, and I know how to get on, and it's not because I have any loyalty, God knows, to YouTube. But anyway, I was purged, and then I had to start all over again, and then I built up some momentum, and now it seems to have stalled. But at the same time, one door closes, or one door, it's not totally closed, but one door is there's substantially less traffic on my YouTube videos for whatever reason. Maybe I've just gotten tiresome. Maybe there are just fewer people. Because my subscriber count hasn't gone down. Maybe I'm getting I'm getting throttled or whatever. It could be. And it's not like I ever had a huge number of people watching my videos. But there are exceptions where I have where I get into the 5-figure area. But those are exceptions. Most of them are still in the 3-figure area. But lately they've been more around the 2-figure area. And so one door gets closed. One door closes significantly, but another door opens, and that's been Substack. I've had a renewed interest in writing and publishing articles because of Substack. Substack has offered me this outlet, and I've had more success. My success on Substack has been in inverse proportion or inverse relationship to my diminishing view counts on my videos on YouTube. It's almost like if you go up in one place, you have to go down in the other, which doesn't seem like that would follow, but it's how it's been for me. So this has been a little rambly. There's a through line that holds together from the beginning to the end, which is I'm about to end it in a minute. But I've talked about a lot of things, but what I'm not leading up to saying anything momentous. I'm going to keep recording on YouTube. But I mean, I don't know if there are people out there saying, does he know, does this poor guy, is he getting senile dementia? Does he not know that his view counts are getting lower? Yes, I know, I'm aware, I see it happening. Don't know why it's happening, but you know, it's so it goes. I'm going to keep doing things here, but those of you who enjoy, and I mean, I don't even know why I'm making these appeals, because it is like kind of shouting into a hurricane. Like, oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah, I remember I read your stuff back in, gosh, it's been a long time, 2011. Oh, yeah, you're still around? Well, that's cool. What have you been up to lately? I've been up to the same stuff I was up to before. You just haven't noticed. So anyway, to anyone who watches this video, and there's not much to watch because it's all been audio. But just follow me on Substack. I'm gonna tap that vein and start. I've been more active there, and I'm gonna continue to be active there. Something tells me that's the place to go right now, and I'm still writing, and I'm I haven't given up on, at least expanding the niche following that I do have. That, I know I have readers out there. I know that there are people who like my work, but for the most part, it's not that well known. But I haven't given up, and I'm not. I'm just saying, I'm just making a note, and so for some of you, you're probably just nodding along, saying, yeah, it do be like that. And most of you, because most of you are younger, significantly younger than me, I think, or like, whatever, old man, if you're still around, if you're even still around. Okay, boomer. Even though I'm not a boomer, I'm an Xer. So tell me, say okay, Xer. Okay, Xer. Although I am a boomer in some ways, in my technological lack of knowledge. So I'm just going to conclude by saying I'll still be doing stuff here, and if you tune in to this site, expect more from me here. But check me out on Substack if you haven't already, and consider subscribing to me on Substack if you haven't already. Thank you and good night.